Hey guys, you're here with Ashley and Goran for your European football live show here at Big Dogs YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Sport Chat Place, YouTube, and I don't know what else. But it's Monday. Thanks for joining us first time this week for our live show here. As you can imagine, we don't have a lot to talk about today. There was barely any games. I know that Ashley, we talked about that yesterday on the live show that today's slate is horrible. Did you end up putting any previews in?
Yeah, there was one match that I really liked in Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland was Glentoran. I ended up putting them on a double money line. They're winning 6-1 right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, had to kind of do some true handicapping. Like meaning, typically as handicappers, we have friend cappers, and we're all kind of like, what do you think about this match? What do you think about that match? So you kind of get like a head start of at least 10 or 15 that you want to look at. But on a slate like today, it was like 70 something matches, and I just literally had to sit there and just kind of look at each division and a name that stood out and just truly start breaking down, just from scratch, having no idea where to start. And I saw tons of value on them, which is good because it's not a match I would have found otherwise if I wasn't having to dig really deep. But um, yeah, they're destroying that team. It's tied up into a double no tomorrow. So I need over 2.5 in the England under 21 versus Albania tomorrow. So last time England beat them 5-0 and then 3-0 before that. So I'm hoping that yeah, we'll get at least 3 goals in that one.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't have absolutely anything today. Same as yesterday. Uh, there was really nothing, but tomorrow looks a bit more promising than today, and we have some big games being played in Europe and South America as well, Africa as well. We have those qualification playoffs in Africa. Second legs are going on right now, so we'll get a few more teams qualified for the World Cup. And then on the Friday we have the World Cup draw, and that's when we'll get our groups and see who's gonna be playing which group is gonna be the dead group of the World Cup, and see any dark horses that there possibly might be. But as far as tomorrow goes, Ashley, Poland, Sweden, Portugal, North Macedonia. Any thoughts on that one?
Um, I'm it's sort of interested in Poland and Sweden. I was on Sweden last time. I feel like they did pull it out, but I feel like they should have kind of done more a little bit sooner in that match. About Poland, that's kind of a tricky one to me. I think both teams can score, but Sweden has pretty solid defense. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Kind of just at first glance. I mean, Sweden's on the road here, so I think both teams can net. I'm not sure if I'll be on it. And with Portugal, you guys know, I mean, they're such heavy favorites. Good morning, Groovy. I think I'm going to take um, Portugal -1 in a double with something. Obviously, not laying that for the money line. Um, and deciding, do I think this scrappy little North Macedonia team that I have bet on, I did not think they would score on Italy, but I have taken both teams to score in several of their matches. So more than likely, the way I'll be paying Portugal is just having to throw it in with something. I'm not interested in a goal scorer prop in that one. It's kind of like if you have one or two main scorers, it's easy to find value. But I think Portugal has so many different players that it'd be tough to nail down, right? Like who the main guy is going to be. So Portugal -1, looking at possibly putting that with a random team that has nothing to do with these qualifiers in England League Two. So I'm looking to possibly do Portugal -1 and Carlisle +1. And that's a pretty decent price. I think it's like -120-ish or something.
Yeah, you know what? Portugal has taken their job seriously in this playoffs. They did beat Turkey 3-1, even though they got lucky because Turkey has missed a penalty kick for 2-2 in 60
Yep.
something minute. And then Portugal scored another goal at the end of the game. So they got the win there. And that's not me saying that Italy didn't take this qualification seriously. They just, I don't know, weren't this focused enough when it comes to scoring goals. And honestly, I don't think that North Macedonia was that great at defending, even though you got to have a certain level of defense to defend against all of those shots that Italy has. But I think that game was more testament of the Italian disability to score goals in that game. They should
Right.
have been at least 2-0 ahead in the first half, if you ask me. But I honestly don't think that North Macedonia can repeat the same result twice. To be honest, like I said, Portugal is a great offensive firepower. They have so much depth and talent. It's very hard to defend against them. And on top of that, they have pretty solid midfield and defense as well. So I honestly don't think North Macedonia can score here. So I think that Portugal gets a win here. Whether that's going to be 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, or something like that, I have no idea. But I might take Portugal and over 1.5 in this game and see what happens. Because, like I said, I just don't think that North Macedonia can repeat that defensive effort twice in a row. So I think
Yeah.
they're not there yet. They are a good, scrappy team, like you said. They are definitely improving constantly. They had some good games in the Euro Cup last year, but I don't think it's their time to reach the World Cup just yet. So Portugal and over one and a
No.
half in a double with something else, probably. I think that's the way to go for this game.
Yeah, I like that that take too. Portugal and over 1.5 and a double, or like I said, just Portugal -1 because basically that should be a free hit, and I would
Yeah,
assume they would cover by margin. I mean, but like you said, you know they did get lucky versus Turkey. I think Turkey, if they hit that penalty, ends up being a completely different match. We might
yeah,
be talking about two headline making matches, right? Italy being bounced by North Macedonia and could have been Portugal being bounced by Turkey. But I agree with you too. Turkey, a little bit different than North Macedonia, right? A little more talent all around. Even though I do think this North Macedonia team is a scrappy team, and Portugal do have their issues defensively, as you see. So um, tough to find value on them. I do love your look of Portugal and over 1.5. I don't think it's a 1-0 type win. I think just like we know that they got kind of lucky versus Turkey, I don't think they want to put themselves in that position again. They saw what happened to Italy, right? So I think they kind of go out and kind of just make a statement here, is what you think. So I think they score at least twice. I would be shocked if they didn't. Yeah, so it's basically, if you guys have another play that you're really loving, and then kind of priced out of or whatever, it's just something to get a throw. And yeah, Chad, Italy got multiple bags from me. I mean, it's my favorite national team, and I love them. I love the players. I love Ciro Immobile, but I'm starting to wonder, even from the Euros, watching him, he'll be up and down for Lazio, and he is definitely a fantastic player. But I just don't. He doesn't have that it factor, right? Of like this breakaway. He can score a fantastic goal. I just think Italy kind of needs um, a little bit of shuffling in their lineup. I know it makes a difference with Chiesa being out because I just absolutely love that guy. He's phenomenal. So I think that would have made a difference. But like you said, I mean, that was North Macedonia played tough and props to them, but that was more of a case of Italy just performing poorly, and they should have at least scored 2 goals, at least.
yeah, they should have. Now, I think Portugal comes out flying in this game, though. I think they will try to get the job done as soon as possible because certainly they want to avoid the same fate as Italy did. Because the longer it takes for them to score, the pressure builds up, and the harder it gets. And then when you reach the overtime, anything is possible, and especially if you reach the penalty shootout,
Oh
you can
yeah.
never know.
I mean, these
That
are
that's
all
a, yeah.
professional players. Yeah. Well, and just like I think Portugal will take note of, with Italy. I think that Italy had converted, even just one maybe, but one or two of those chances in the first half, and makes a statement, and then kind of makes Macedonia feel like, okay, this is going to go kind of the way that we expected. But it's just like with Portugal. If you go out there versus a team, they're all professionals. I mean, Portugal has more talent, but Italy had more talent also. And if you let a team hang around and hang around and hang around, and they start getting a little bit of hope, right? And it's a team that's playing with nothing to lose and no pressure, you can put yourself in a scary spot, like Italy learned. So I'm thinking that Portugal takes note of that, right? And doesn't want this match to come down to like the last 10 minutes or something.
Yeah. Now, as far as Poland and Sweden goes, you did mention that Swedish pretty good defense, and I agree with that. They have an outstanding defense. They have kept a lot of clean sheets. Uh, their offense, though, is not where it should be.
No.
Granted, they were missing Ibrahimovic in that game against Czech Republic, but I don't think they missed him that much because they have some great strikers and attacking midfielders in their roster. So uh, to go 0-0 against the team that has been missing two of their best players in Czech Republic, they should have scored or at least created a bit more of those not not great chances, but good chances that would actually be a threat
Right.
to the Czech Republic.
Right.
Now they had to play additional half an hour of overtime. That caused them a lot of nerves. There will be some fatigue in this game, and on top of all of that, they are playing on the road in this finals game, and that's going to be a huge factor because Poland is going to have pretty much 85% of the stadium behind them, and they have the best striker in the world right now in Lewandowski, and this is going to
Yeah.
be a real test for the Swedish defense. One thing I could see going Sweden's way is that Lewandowski doesn't have as good as a support cast as he does in Bayern, but he still scored
Yeah.
like 8 or 10 goals in this qualifications, nonetheless. So I do like BTTS in this game, to be honest, but I'm kind of being pulled towards Poland here to qualify for the World Cup, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, like I said, I was on Sweden, their last one, and I felt pretty confident about it, but their defense played phenomenal. They didn't concede, but exactly like you said, there's just something lacking on their offense. I took a shot at Forsberg to score in that one. And Alexander Isak, who hasn't been in fantastic form, but I thought he had a shot at scoring there. But yeah, I agree. I mean, Poland, Lewandowski, he doesn't have the supporting cast for the national team that he does at Bayern. But that man, when he steps out on a pitch with anyone, he has the potential to score. So, yeah, I would the BTTS worries me a little bit because of Sweden's defense. But yeah, I mean, I could see you saying too, leaning Poland because there seems to be something wrong with Sweden's offense right now. That may just straight be a stay away from me. It's just too much trying to figure out what Sweden you're getting because they've been playing well up to this point. They pulled it through when they had to in their last match, but they absolutely underperformed. That match should have never gone to extra time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think both teams come out strong. I think there's value on both teams to score. I don't think I would push it to an over or anything like that. I think it's could be very nervy match for both sides. So, yeah, that might be more of like a live betting situation. See how they both come out for the first 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, or at least wait for the lineups before the game and see who's in, who's out. But honestly, my mind is telling me stay away from this game. It could go either way. It could be tough. And then I see plus 110 on both teams to score, and I just start thinking, well, holy crap, that's a pretty good price.
Yeah.
Because Polish defense is not as good. And then in the attacking end, they have Lewandowski, they have Piatek and Milik as well.
Right.
And Lewandowski doesn't even have to be the player scoring goals because he's pretty good at creating chances for his teammates as well. He's been doing that a lot in Bayern too. So I think we might
Yeah.
see him
And
more.
Piatek is awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Piatek and Milik could really benefit from Lewandowski creating the space for them and chances. So I think we
Yeah.
might see him more in that role in this game than as a pure striker waiting for that final pass to him to score a goal.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think the more you talk about it, just listening to you, which is why I like doing this, right? Because I have my perspective and then listening to yours. I'm kind of leaning now. It was more of a stay away, but I think I kind of am liking BTTS here. Like you said, with Piatek, Milik, and Lewandowski, which goes without saying. I think even if Sweden plays a sound defense, Poland comes out attacking, right? This is
Yeah,
a one and done deal. So, I mean, that's just the way it is.
yeah,
You win, you're in, you lose, you're out. So you just have to leave it all out on the pitch. So I can see with their offensive firepower, Poland netting even against a solid Sweden defense, especially at home. And I think Sweden being in the same situation, and they have their good strikers also, and coming off of a lackluster performance that they did manage to get through. I think they score too. So I may actually take this off of my no bet list and take a swing at a little bit of plus money on both teams to score there.
yeah. Like I said, the Swedish defense is going to be put up to the test here in this game. Like you said, it's one and done. It's finals. You lose, you go home. You win, you go to the World Cup. And I
Right.
mean, the stakes are pretty high. Uh, God forbid if there's a penalty in the first half, the whole game is going to open wide. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see goals in that one as soon as we see the first one. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah, we'll see what's going to happen in this one.
I
It
think a
should be pretty
decent look at
interesting.
that too might be like a just not picking a team, but just a goal to be scored in both halves. Because, like you said, I mean, I think they come out here right. If we know this, these guys on these teams know it. Um, yeah, if you lose, you're out. So
Yeah.
you have to go for it. Both teams have to go for it, which usually lends to them scoring, but it also leaves them wide open at the back for the other team to score. And both of these teams are capable, more than capable on the counter attack. So yeah, I think I am gonna swing it both teams to score there.
Yeah, I think I talked myself into it as
You talked
well.
me into it too.
Oh man. Uh it's not a big slate tomorrow, Ashley. It's decent. We have some good games going on. We have that English League One that you mentioned as well. There might be
Yeah,
something. Actually, it's League Two.
League Two. Yeah.
There might be something worth taking in that league. Do you have anything as a singles there?
Not as a single, but that's the one I was telling you I have wrapped up into that Glentoran, that Northern Ireland Premier match that crushed it today. So, oh no, I'm sorry. I have the England under 21 match in a double with that. So one that I do like, but yet again, it's probably going to be had to be tossed into a double. I like Carlisle. I like him at the +5, which is basically another way of saying a double chance. But I want to give myself a little bit more protection because these England leagues can be a little bit unpredictable. But if they lose, I don't think they lose more than one, and I think there's a decent shot that they draw or win. So Carlisle +1 is probably what I'm going to have in a double with Portugal -1.
Rochdale and Carlisle, or Rochdale, whatever you, however you say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm gonna take Carlisle because it's been bet down from the +0.5 to the +2.25. So there's money coming on them, but I think I'm just gonna take the straight +1 and give myself the that push protection there.
I mean, this is the battle at the bottom of the table, right? And both still outside the relegation zone, but not by much. 9 points for Rochdale, but I mean, I would say they're pretty safe when it comes to relegation or staying in the league. But the defenses of both teams are horrible. Like 50 conceded goals for Carlisle, 51 for Rochdale. And when it comes to scoring goals, they're pretty decent, both of them. So maybe take both teams to score with this being the battle at the bottom of the table. They might both go for the win. So we might see goals on both sides.
Yeah, that's the +1 is just the way I've kind of been looking at playing it. I'm interested. I'm obviously not touching these friendlies. I mean, if these were World Cup matches, I'd be all over them because there are some intriguing matchups. Like the Denmark match. I think I'm maybe Germany and Netherlands on the friendly. I might take a swing at some type of goals in that one. But friendlies, they can just be really hit and miss, right? These are teams trying to like fine tune and everything. So, yeah, I mean, tomorrow's slate is a little bit better than today's. A team that I've been interested in, that I've actually made some money on, is Korea Republic. They're playing United Arab Emirates, who aren't a horrible team. Now, what I don't like is that Korea Republic are on the road here. You know, when you're looking at some of these, like you're looking at like long travel distances, but they've been impressive to me. So I may take a deeper dive and look into get value on Korea. Yeah, Miguel, I like Portugal and over also. Poland money line. I don't think it's a bad look. I don't think Sweden money line is a bad look. That's why I think I'm just going to go for both teams to score because I really have no idea. Both of these teams have firepower. Sweden has a bit better of a defense, but Poland has a bit better of an attack. So it's going to be very interesting to see how those counter each other.
Now we got an interesting matchup in African World Cup qualifications actually, and that's Senegal and Egypt are playing second leg of their matchup. Now Senegal has beaten Egypt after a penalty shootout in the Africa Cup of Nations earlier this summer. Not this summer. When was that? In January, a couple of months ago. And Egypt has beaten Senegal 1-0 in the first leg of this playoffs qualifications. Now they're playing in Senegal tomorrow. We know that two best players of these two teams are Mane for Senegal and Salah for Egypt. I think he might have actually scored for Egypt in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Did he?
It was an own goal.
Oh, it was an own goal, yeah.
Yeah, it was like an early own goal in like the first 10 minutes or something. And yeah, nothing else. And the one before that was 0-0. The last four, and this is just it could be more than that. That's as far back as my site goes here. It's been all four have been under 2.5, and was a 0-0 draw, but the other three was a win to 0. Egypt went to 0, and Senegal won 2-0. So screams as an unders match to me. I don't think an under 3.5 would be bad. Because I don't know, this line might be set at expensive just under 2, right? And I'm not playing an under 2.
Under 2.5 is minus 345, which is just ridiculous.
Under 2.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so nah. And you would think like Mane, great goal scorer for Senegal, Salah, just one of the best players in the world, but they don't have the supporting cast. It's not easy for those guys to score in these matches. No. That's why you see so many unders, right? You think, Mohamed Salah is in there, he's just gonna like run all over Senegal, but he doesn't have the midfield and the people like passing the ball up to him. So that's just probably going to be a stay away for me. The under is way too expensive, and I'm not going to play under 2.5 in a double. If I take an under in a double, it's always under 3.5. But there's no way. I mean, if the under 2.5 is that expensive, I don't even want to know what under 3.5 is. So yeah, that one I'll just sit back and listen to you on. I'll be interested to see, these teammates going head to head, but no, I won't be getting any of my money.
Yeah, you know what? If I end up betting on this game, it's probably going to be Senegal on the money line. I have a feeling that this one might go to overtime. Egypt won the first leg 1-0. I think Senegal gets the win here, whether it's going to be 1-0, 2-0, or 2-1 or something like that. We just talked about the goals in this one. There aren't many goals in this African matchups. Usually, most of them are the unders. So I would take Senegal to win, minus 114 on the money line, and for this game to go to the overtime, and then who's going to be more lucky and who's going to score those penalties if it gets to the penalty shootout.
Yeah. Miguel mentioning Japan. So Japan giving away 2 goals. I don't know what you're trying to say there exactly. I think Japan have actually been playing well. I think there's value on them playing Vietnam. So those have been low scoring affairs too, as these usually are. So in the last 2, when Japan was on the road, they won 1-0. So with Japan being at home here, just coming off of an impressive win where I was this close to taking them draw no bet and didn't and should have because they won that match outright. I think that there's value here on Japan and under 3.5. Now, just don't go throw money on it because I haven't, because I got to sit here all day today and all night tonight breaking these down. Um, but if Japan can, they have a good defense. They hold Vietnam scoreless twice at Vietnam, so I think Japan here at home with their defense can get a low scoring win here.
I would personally stay away from this one. I personally will, just because Japan is at the top of this group. They have qualified for the World Cup already. They don't need anything. Now, Saudi Arabia could pass them in the standings and take over that first place, but the top two teams are qualified straight to the World Cup, so it doesn't really matter whether you're the first or second. Well,
Right.
Vietnam, they are the weakest team in this group. They are at the bottom of the table. Only 3 points. They can't get anywhere, to be honest. So
That's why I would say
yeah,
you're right. It's typically you're going to want to stay away. Like I'm staying away from Saudi Arabia versus Australia because Saudi Arabia's already qualified. I'm just kind of a different angle. I wouldn't be interested at all if Japan were on the road, but I think at home, maybe playing for their home crowd, they try to nick a goal. Um, I don't know. I think there's value on them, and maybe Japan to win 10-0. I think they do score. Not necessarily because they have to or need to, but I just think it's kind of a thing of right. These fans go out there and they want to see these teams, not just stand around. So who knows? Staying away from Saudi Arabia might touch Japan because I really got pissed off at myself when I didn't the last time.
now, actually, we are at the end of our show today. We do have some South American games tomorrow, but we'll talk about those on the tomorrow show, since those games are at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Uh, Now, guys, I gotta tell you, we are working on some exciting changes for our live show, and those will be coming on soon. Of course, there will be videos coming up to YouTube later today, so make sure you check those out. We did mention we will have some previews for tomorrow, both Ashley and I, so check those out as well. I haven't had any for the last 2 days. Ashley had a winning pick today, so check what she will have for tomorrow. There definitely will be some winners coming up. Hey, Ashley?
Yeah, and the next few days there should be it's starting to pick up, but definitely when we get back to club football, it is what I'm looking the most forward to and being done with these qualifiers. Although I do think that in some of these qualifiers there is some value to be
Yeah.
found. And Miguel, yeah, -1.5 on Iran. I don't think it's horrible. They won 2-1 last time. Yeah, I mean, you know me. I'm not one to take anything over a -1 usually because I'm a coward and I like the option of push. But yeah, I don't think it's a horrible look. I won't be playing it myself. Thank you, Driss. I appreciate that. Yeah, so y'all know, and got a little bit of worse news about it today. So I'm just looking forward to getting on a plane and getting to Alabama and probably being there for a while. So, but I do appreciate that, and I've gotten some messages from people, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I sincerely do. So, thank you.
And yes, Miguel, there will be soccer betting tools coming to Sport Chat Place and Big Dogs soon, I think. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining us once again. Make sure you hit that like button; it helps us a lot. And we'll be back tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern once again. Enjoy your evening, guys.